everybody, it's the Cursing Seamstress. Today is Tuesday. I'm off work and I am not looking my best, I don't think, but I have been sewing and I wanted to show you a few things that I have made and something I'm just finishing up. You can see it behind me, the little jacket there. I'll show that to you and a few other things. All right, so today, it's a week after Thanksgiving, over a week. It's almost 2 weeks now. And I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, those of you in the United States. Today, I'll give you a weather report. It's sunny outside. I think the high will be about 50 degrees. So it's pretty chilly in the morning, and then it warms up to where you can move around with, you know, not a jacket or anything on. So it's quite comfortable, actually. I'm finishing up with this semester. I have, tomorrow is the final exam for the nursing course that I'm teaching. And then next week is I have two finals for 2 health classes. And one of those is totally a remote course. And then the second one will be online, but it will be for a seated class. So let's see. Let me start with something that I made for the little girl at church. So hold on. Okay, well, the little girl at church is, I guess she's 3, and I think she's moving into a size 4. And then the little one behind her is probably still in a 2. I don't know. But I made this dress, and I don't think I have the, I'll put the pattern number up here. But this is it. It's a simple dress with short sleeves. It has a zipper in the back. I think it called for a 12-inch, but I ended up putting in a 14-inch. It has a bottom piece here that I went ahead, I had some brown fabric that was thrifted, and it matches the dark part of the bear really well, so I used that. It's supposed to have 2 pockets here, but I'm lazy, I left them off. And this pattern was okay. I didn't like it says that the sleeves are, it doesn't say, I think it says eased in, but they are gathered. So there was more than just easing in. The facing that goes around the neckline didn't fit. So I don't know why it didn't fit. The bodice of the neckline was stay stitched. And you know how sometimes on the facing when you iron on the, I'm going to take my glasses off because I see there's a glare, how it stabilizes the fabric so much as sometimes it shortens it. But this seemed to be much shorter, and so I was just too lazy to, I actually was going to use the neckline here and draw out a facing so I would know it would fit. But I didn't. I simply used some orange pre-bought bias tape and put that around there. And that actually, I would do that again. There's no reason to put a facing on this. So it's really cute. This fabric is from Hobby Lobby, I'm pretty sure, from a long time ago. I can't remember if I showed you this before. I made my 11-year-old grand boy pajama bottoms out of this fabric, and it's just a cotton. It's a good weight cotton quality fabric. So that is that little dress, and it's a size 5. The big sister of these 2 little girls never gets anything from me because I think she's 12, and I don't know how to sew for her. I have no idea what she would wear or not wear. So her name is Rowan, and I think that's just such a beautiful name. So I made her a pencil case out of some fabric that I had left over. This used to be a free pencil case from a place called Lorelei Jane. and it's no longer on the website. So I still had the pattern piece, but not the instructions. So I just had to work it out, being able to layer everything properly. It's got some iron-on, like fleece batting on the inside, and there is a lining. So the lining is just a white lining, but I didn't screw it up. But it's the kind of thing where you just have to pin stuff down and then look at it and make sure that you have everything the way it is, so you don't end up with a the lining part on the outside before you stitch anything down. But I did embroider her name on the front of this, and that's what it looks like on the bottom. And I love this fabric. I think this fabric is also from Hobby Lobby. So that's that. Then my niece, who lives in Minnesota, is having a baby, and I use the Patterns for Pirates Walk the Plank pajama pattern. I really do like Patterns for Pirates. I like Made for Mermaids too. I think they are owned by sisters. But these are the little pants. These are a 3-month. Had no idea really how big to make the cut the elastic in here. But this is some fabric that really is not my style. It was thrifted also. It has little cherries on here. The waistline dips down in the front, and so it's definitely a new type of pattern with that feature. My daughter, I made her a pair of shorts out of that same fabric, the fox and the bear fabric. And one thing she's big on is she likes the front part to be cut lower, because if you cut it the same as the back and you sit down, there's like a bunch of fabric in the front, and she hates that. So they worked really well for her. I delivered those last week, so she's happy with it. So the big thing that I made was, and this is a pattern company I've never used before. They're called Sew to Grow, and they had a sale. I think it was 20 or 30% off their patterns. Everybody did, for the Black Friday and then the weekend of Thanksgiving. And so I really like this little coat. It's called the Something Coatigan, Coatigan, and I made it, and I like it. I've had this chunky corduroy for probably 10 years and never used it because I could never find something to use it for. So a few things about this pattern. It has a great look, and I just actually had seen it before and admired it, but didn't do anything about it. And then when they had the sale, I thought, well, this is an opportunity. So I bought it and started making it right away. What happened was everything really went together well. The instructions are good. And then let me show you some of the features. It's not lined. The collar, it looks like this. So the collar is faced all the way down along the front piece. So there's a back piece cut on the fold, 2 front pieces. It's top stitched. This was kind of cool, the way they had you do this here, the cut in for the collar. It's basically a dart, and you just sew a dart and then cut it. Well, yeah, you don't cut a dart, but you cut into the dart and cut, right to the very edge, and then poke it out, poke the corners out. The first time I did it on one side, I don't know what I did, but I cut through it and I had a hole in the fabric, but it was easily fixable. I just made the cut deeper and it worked fine. So everything was good. Everything was doing well. No problems. I put it has 2 patch pockets on the front. I do think that the patch pockets need to be lower, and I'll try it on and show you. But the biggest issue was when I laid... Everything's a mess now. My whole sewing room is horrible. So when I laid out the sleeve, it looked really narrow to me. And so I folded it over and put it around my arm, and I thought, this is just too tight. And this is supposed to be a coat, so you're going to be wearing, and it's a corduroy coat, so you're going to have probably long sleeves on. And I knew it was just not going to work. So I looked up a video about how to open up a sleeve and make it broader. And my arms are not, I mean, I don't have the arms that I had when I was 30, but they're not really big, heavy arms. So anyway, I watched a video and went ahead and started doing a Frankenstein thing with the sleeve. And I probably didn't follow the video that great and do it a perfect way. I know I didn't. But I did do a cut down the center on the grain line cut, and then a cut about an inch or so across here, and then a cut up here, and opened it out. And the person who did the video, I don't remember her name, but she went in depth about measuring your arm and then measuring. I didn't do that. I just opened it up probably almost an inch at the fullest part, right at that horizontal line. And the bottom is only opened up a little bit. And actually, you know, you probably don't need to open this up. This could be the same width across the bottom. I didn't need to. And then I did realize that she did some other stuff with squaring everything up. And I really didn't know how to do that so much, because this is the marking that you're supposed to match with the seam of the shoulder. And I wasn't sure if that needed to move. That did not match up with the grain line. And I don't know if it's supposed to. I mean, it didn't in the beginning before I started doing all this stuff to it. But I was smart enough to do a mock sleeve with some cheap fabric, and it was okay, but I still worried about it being a little tight. So when I laid it out, when I tried the mock sleeve into the arm's eye, I had a lot of more of the sleeve left to try to fit in, and I didn't want to gather it. I didn't want to do anything that would shorten that space. So I went back and watched the rest of the video, which I should have done to begin with. And so you do have to open up the arm's eye. So I did do that. And I put the sleeve in there. It still wasn't quite big enough. So I measured about 1/8 of an inch all the way around the arm's eye. And I cut around that. And so fitted it into the mock-up sleeve, and it fit fine. And then when I actually cut the sleeve out onto the corduroy fabric, I did cut about 1/8 of an inch more on the side, not at the top part. And then when I sewed the sleeve, the sides of the sleeve together, I used only probably 1/4 of an inch. and it fit in fine. So I'll show it to you. The only thing I have not done is to put the buttons on. And so let me get into this. It's really nice, and let's see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. And I have a bra on. When I tried it on before, I did not have a bra on. So these are the patch pockets. Like I said, I think they need to be a little lower. When I put my hands in here, this is kind of what it looks like. I would think it would need to be a little bit lower. I also notice, and I don't have my glasses on, let me stick them on so I can see better. But I also notice, and maybe it won't be as obvious, but it seems like I've got a little extra fabric in the front on the coat part. I don't know what that's about. And then I really would like it if it went in more, if there were a little bit more of a curve on this side. It does have some. It's not a totally square jacket. And I haven't really looked at the back, so you're going to be the first one to see the back, all right? So, what does the back look like? So I haven't put the buttons on, so I think it only calls for a couple of buttons here. The sleeves, I had already cut them off a little bit anyway, and I hemmed them 1 inch, but the sleeves are quite long, so you'll probably, unless you have really long arms, you'll probably want to shorten those a little bit. So anyway, so that's all I know. I am going to run some errands today and try to clean up my house a little bit, and that's it. So I hope everybody is doing well. Let me know what you're sewing. Let me know if you found an easier pattern, although, you know, I don't know how it could be easier. But if you face the problem with the having to make a sleeve wider, let me know. Again, I didn't need to do anything really here, so I could have left that alone. And actually it was only, like I said, like 1/8 of an inch or so on each sleeve. So, but anyway, this was a nice fabric to sew with. I didn't say that. I was worried about it being heavy, but it sewed beautifully. The only thing lined with this coat is the pockets, and they're sewn double. You stitch 2 pieces of fabric together, leave an opening, and then turn the whole thing out. But for the lining, I used that bear fabric, the bear fox fabric, because it matched well and it was a thinner cotton. So, so that's it. You guys have a great day and a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.